pit crew when they're 8 years old. Okay, so we're kind of going through that process with you right now. We're going to put guns and tires and these sorts of equipment that we deal with. We're going to put that stuff in your hands.
So we want to hold the rotational mass back here. It's the left hand that a lot of guys forget and the gun starts turning on. Take your hands to the lug nut, hands to the studs. You got to punch and get off of them, okay? We don't have a whole lot of time. We got really 1 day to try to see your skill set. We're not going to go in depth very much. We want to see your natural talent. Go. There you go. Just get off that person. Now, everything was good. You just came off that fifth one like, okay, I've got a good pattern to go on, number 5, and you just short stroke the fifth one.
I don't think I've been this sore since my last 2-a-day in East Carolina. It's a whole new game for me, and it's a different type of soreness.
Don't try to come first. Because he's coming around there, and that's going to hit you in the head.
You know, holding the air gun all day. This honestly, I got a blister about 10 minutes into it, and it ripped off, you know, pretty shortly after that.
All right, other thing you got to pay attention to is this. Okay, we'll kick you out.
1, 2, set. So it's good space right here.
Developmental program of like single A baseball. We want to create a farm system so we have the same type of athlete that we can pluck and pull from our 4-cup team all the way down to our young guys.
It's like butter, man.
I saw, you know, no one particularly stand out like a superstar, but then I didn't really see any weaknesses either.
Athletically, I really like number 8. He's got what you want. He's got good size and strength, tire pull, and all that stuff was good.
What we're going to do next is figure out where some of these prospects might fit into our system.
The longer somebody is in their position and the further along and more comfortable they get in their career, the slower they get. So we want to make sure that we've always got young men coming in and pushing the people that are our starters.
It's a healthy competition, but it's a competition. Make no mistake about it. The best athletes will play.
You know there's 15 guys sitting in the wings, waiting in the wings to come take your job, so you really don't want to make any mistakes.
It gives us a whole nother weapon. With these athletes we've groomed and the people we've brought in, they have raised the ceiling so high that they can win races on pit road.
So we go back to what we were talking about before, that piece, the intangibles, and what you need to win a championship, because it's not just about the driver. So how would you define the intangibles in this situation?
Well, see, you know, tangibles, obviously the car, the motor, and things like that, but the intangible is how much reserve, you know, how do you expect a person to perform when that pressure increases? It just seems like big game players, athletes grab a little something extra when they need to, and I think that's an intangible to me, how much they have left when the pressure is really on.
What would you say is an intangible, Artem?
Yeah, fast pit crew. I mean, a consistent pit crew. Somebody's got depth, somebody's got backup plans, and that 18 car, every single week they come down pit road, we sit right here going, my gosh, they're going to beat everybody out, and generally they really do.
You're talking about the greatest performers in the world as far as championships, Michael Jordan's, Jeff Gordon's, Jimmy Johnson's, people like that.
Brad Daugherty.
I mean, there's an X factor that's it's an intangible because you can't really describe it to the layperson, and they have it, and that's the difference maker when it comes to being a champion.
What I thought was interesting when we had Carl Edwards in here earlier, he talked about the importance of his crew chief. Now, obviously, that's a very important role, but Jimmy Fennig. Jimmy Fennig is the 99's crew chief, and he's someone that we talked about earlier about having the Jimmy Fennig effect. You know, he won that championship in 2004 with Kurt Busch. He's got a lot of experience. What does he bring to the table in terms of intangibles?
Purely that experience and a sense of Jimmy's got a sense of experience. Jimmy's been around a long time, and he's worked on a lot of race cars, and he's worked with a lot of great drivers: Bobby Allison, Mark Martin, Matt Kenseth, Kurt Busch. He is a good guy, and he's got that sense of confidence. He brings that confidence that you know, this guy's been around, he's got wisdom, he's won, and he's won with a lot of different drivers. He just gives you confidence when you're around him.
Say, when you talk about that guy, we short track raced with him back in the Midwest back in the 80s. He was with Mark Martin, he was with Dick Trickle, he was with many drivers. And he's just a solid guy that totally understands racing. He started at the very bottom and worked himself right to the very top. I call him an old school guy, but he's pretty new school. The tools he uses, how he adapts to everything, and the confidence that he builds in his driver, Carl Edwards. Carl will tell you he's one of the best he's ever had.
The thing I like about Jimmy Fennig is whenever you have a conversation with him, he's to the point, he's right on the target, he doesn't overreact, and the thing these guys are talking about, he's got so much experience that when he doesn't overreact, his crew doesn't overreact. And I think that trickle down, because of his leadership, makes us a better race team.
When you look at all we just talked about, the crew chief, the pit crew, those intangibles, for your top 3 teams,
Woo, man.
Wow.
Come on.
would they be the same teams that you would look at like you said, the drivers? Would it be
I don't think
20?
they would.
No?
No, because we rated those guys on tangibles. The intangibles that I think that you're going to look at right now may be how much reserve that 99, how big of a difference is Jimmy going to make to Carl, Casey Canyon, Kenny Francis? Are these guys ready to win that championship?
There's too much that has to play out. I mean, we don't know. We've seen with the JGR cars in the last few years that they just haven't been able to get it done.
And you know what? The reason we can't give you an answer, because when you get in the chase, everything changes. There's no predictability, in my opinion, because of what happened the first 26. These drivers have a complete different mindset. They're fired up, they're jacked up, they're happy they're in the chase, and I think we're going to see them all perform a little bit different.
Well, let's stop talking, because what you can't see at home is what I can see off camera, and that is that the pit studio door keeps opening, and we keep getting guests filing in here. Ryan Newman just walked in, but coming up next, we'll talk to the 13th driver in the chase, the driver who just got his invitation to compete for the championship on Friday, Jeff Gordon.
Reinvention isn't something man discovers. It's something he creates. The ability to push ego aside and begin again. That was the inspiration behind our recreation. The soul reimagined.
Watch the golf ball carefully and then swallow it. And now bring the golf ball right back up. It's gone. Spit out the golf ball. Wakey, wakey, golf ball. Thank you.
Bring your Vegas dream to life. For hotels, flight shows, and more, there's only one LasVegas.com.